sao in ring shring ka la ring asakahala ring sakala ring sao ein kling ring shring Om. Namaste. So it's been a very interesting last couple of weeks. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster car, just coming up to the top. But what happened is I had planned a retreat to my usual place, Forest Monastery in Sri Lanka. They love me there. They have a standing invitation to come there and be a monk. But what happened was, spontaneously, a couple of days ago, I was able to complete the process that I was going to do there, which was, namely, to realize oneness with Shakti, Shiva and Shakti. Because if you get oneness with Shakti, you automatically have oneness with Shiva as well. And then also spontaneously, I was able to finally gain oneness with Brahman. Now, what do I mean when I say oneness? I mean, I was able to enter that point of view. See, it doesn't mean that now I am Shakti or I am Shiva and I can do all the stuff that they do. No, no. But I can experience whatever I am able to experience from the same point of view. That's the meaning of realization. So, to understand, for example, how God sees the world, or how Shiva perceives Shakti, or the other way around, or how things look from the point of view of Brahman, that's realization. And theoretically, any of us can attain that at any time. But practically speaking, because we have created such a mess, and the mind is so agitated and so noisy and so contaminated with all kinds of wrong views, it takes a long time of sadhana, intense sadhana, not 1 hour a day meditation. What to speak of 15 minutes a day, forget it. You can't even get warmed up. It takes, in my experience, at least 2 or 3 hours just to get warmed up so you can do good meditation. And then, of course, the time that you spend deeply in meditation is what the actual sadhana is. So the actual sadhana is, in the beginning, to imagine or simulate the points of view of the, for example, the 8 jhanas of the Buddha, or of the different gods and goddesses, to simulate their points of view and their relationships with the other parts of the cosmos. But in the end, it's like fake it till you make it. In the end, you actually can enter into these points of view. And the difference is very subtle, and a lot of people can deceive themselves and try to deceive others that they have made it when actually they have not. And as we taught all the way back in Being Integrity series, which you should watch, that to assume the name of something is not the same as realizing it in fact. To gain the consciousness or the being of integrity is very different from saying, oh, I have integrity. If you say I have integrity, there's a difference between I and integrity, isn't it? I have integrity means that I am the subject and integrity is an object. It's external. It's not part of your being. You want to be able to say, I am a person of integrity. Sapurisa. This is being integrity, where integrity is so integral to your very being, to your very existence, that you can't separate the two. You can't say, I have integrity, because that would be dualistic. So in the same way, I can't say anymore that I have this goddess, Shakti, Lalita, Tripura Sundari. I can say, I am Tripura Sundari, Shakti, goddess, without trying to imitate her. But what that does is it automatically confers certain properties, certain qualities, certain state of consciousness. So this is what we really want, you see. We really want to attain the state of consciousness of the Divine Mother and look at the world as if it's our child. Look at Shiva as if he's our lover. You see? And then how would we proceed from there? Well, that can't be answered in words. It has to be answered in action. And what that action is, for one who has realized Shakti, is to have complete compassion for all the beings in the world. And how do we do that? By making these videos. These videos can reach the whole world. It's really quite amazing if you think about it. I've been doing these videos since like 2005. I erased my first channel because my belief system changed. I gave up faith-based systems and I took up experience-based systems based on existentialism and the teaching of the Buddha. So now what we're teaching is something that you can experience for yourself very easily, very quickly, but you have to follow the instructions. Now we're 8 minutes or so into the video, so most of the stupid, non-serious, curious people have gone away, and only the dedicated, serious people, people with little intelligence, are still watching. So what we are doing is creating a course site. You know, anybody can go on YouTube and go to the playlist tab of the channel page and see a reverse chronological listing of our what are they called? Playlists. Or they can go to the video page and see a reverse chronological listing of our videos going all the way back to the very beginning, like 7 years ago. But in practice, very few people do this, which is unfortunate because these videos assume the understanding in the previous videos. So if you haven't watched the previous videos, and I mean going all the way back to the beginning of the channel, there's a lot of things you will miss, a lot of significance that you won't get, can't get, without the basic definitions and concepts in the early videos. So we highly recommend that you do this process of historical viewing and view the whole channel from the beginning. And to support you in that, we're creating a course site where the early videos, what we call the preliminary series or the introductory series, are prerequisites for watching the other sections of the course. So this is going to be quite an endeavor. I think it's going to take about 2 years to really get it together. But that means that we need people who can author courses, instructional designers, web designers. We need software people to help manage the stack, the back end, the LAMP stack. And we need beta testers, proofreaders. We need people to go through the courses and suggest improvements. Because, the more people, the more views, different points of view we can incorporate into the design of the thing, the more successful it will be. And we're anticipating in about 2 years that we're going to get hundreds, if not thousands, of students. So we have to have some structure in place to handle that so that I don't get overwhelmed. I mean, I'm already overwhelmed. Really, all I want to do is sit under a tree, okay? And that's really what I'm fit for. Because, as I said, the extra bonus realization that got thrown in over the last few days was the realization of Brahman. Brahman is also known as Nirvana or Nibbana in Pali. So, I never thought that I would realize Brahman in this life. It didn't seem possible, considering where I had come from and what I have been through and the kind of life that I led, being a wild musician back in the 60s and stuff like this. And of course, everyone discouraged me, especially the God brothers and the fellow students on the path. They all said, no, you're not cut out for this. You can't do this. You're not going to be successful. Might as well just forget it. But I persisted. And maybe this is the greatest lesson of all, that this path of self-realization is not a sprint. It's not a retreat. It's not an intensive. It's a marathon. And yes, you may have sprints within the marathon. You may have intensive retreats. But what really matters is how you live your life every day, day in and day out, for decades. The long game. You see? So that's why we're making this course site. Because sooner or later, I'm going to get tired of making these videos. Well, actually, I'm already tired of it. Because, if you go through the playlists, you'll see there's so many incomplete series. Why are they incomplete? Because there just wasn't enough response. There wasn't enough interest for me to sustain the creative effort of putting together the videos. Now here I'm just sitting and riffing, but for the important series, it takes quite a bit of preparation. So to make that structure is a lot of work. It takes hours and hours. My eyes are getting old. My brain is getting old. And I just want to relax and experience the joy of my state of being. I don't want to have to focus on externals, like you. Because I'm quite complete and happy and satisfied in myself. So I'd like to just sit, curl up somewhere and purr, But I do have a duty to share this teaching. So I'm hoping that any of you who would like to participate in the development of the course site will contact me by email or through the comments on this video and indicate your email address so I can get in touch with you and you can join the team. We have a group discussion site for the people who are engaged in this development project. So if that's your interest, if you want to contribute something, and it's going to be work, it's going to take time, but it's going to help your self-realization tremendously because it's service to all humanity. Om Tat Sat. Om Shakti Om.